Thank you, Danny. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the stories were going rampant that he was having surgery and all kinds of things were going wrong, and his aides all assured me that his cancellation only went up to July 3. So we were still planning on coming to New Ulm, Minnesota. On Monday, I received word from his aide that he absolutely couldn't make it, and yesterday I was thrilled to receive a phone call directly from him, and again personally expressing his disappointment in not being able to make it to New Ulm, Minnesota. A friend of mine has said that in the county of Brown we have 5.5 Democrats. After that phone call, I think we now have 6. Before I read the proclamation from the governor, I do have a letter from Senator Amy Klobuchar. Dear Mayor Beussman and friends, thank you for inviting me to join you for today's event commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. Though my schedule prevents me from joining you in person, I am with you in spirit as you pay tribute to those who fought for our country 150 years ago. In Minnesota, we know what it means to love our country. It means being willing to risk everything to defend what it stands for. Since our very first days, the men and women of Minnesota have answered the call to serve. I am still amazed every time I think about those 250 Minnesotans in the Battle of Gettysburg who held the line against 1,600 Confederate troops. We had only been a state for 3 years, yet Minnesotans were there on the front lines, fighting to make a more perfect union. I am proud to serve you in the United States Senate, and I would especially like to thank all those who have served in our armed forces for being here today and for everything that you have done to protect our state and our country, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy. Speaking of those who are ready and willing to serve at a moment's notice, we have several members of our National Guard here, and we have the honor of having the Commanding General of the 34th Infantry Division, Major General Elisario, with us this afternoon. I asked him if he would like to speak, and he said he is a man of very few words, 0 words. So if you see him, greet him, shake his hand, and see if you can get him to talk. Proclamation from the Governor of the State of Minnesota. July 1 to 3, 2013 marks the sesquicentennial of the Battle of Gettysburg of the American Civil War. And whereas Gettysburg was the battle with the largest number of casualties during the Civil War and was the turning point of the Eastern Campaign, and whereas in testament thereof, the United States Congress established the battlefield at Gettysburg as a national military park in 1895, and whereas the state of Minnesota was represented during the Battle of Gettysburg by the 1st and 2nd companies of the Minnesota Sharpshooters and the 1st Minnesota Infantry Regiment, commanded by Colonel William J. Colville, who led an assault late on July 2nd, which repelled the Confederate advance on Cemetery Ridge, a decisive moment of the battle, and whereas the 1st Minnesota Infantry sustained an extremely high number of casualties, particularly on July 2nd, 1863, in preserving a key defensive position in the Union line during the Battle of Gettysburg. These casualties were in excess of 80%, representing one of the highest regimental casualty rates for any battle in the war. And on July 2nd, 1897, in recognition of the service of these brave soldiers, the state of Minnesota erected a memorial on the grounds of Gettysburg Military Park. And the Honorable David M. Governor of the state of Minnesota, dedicated the state's memorial on July 2nd, 1897, as tribute to the courage and service of these soldiers and the sacrifices made by the families and communities throughout the state. And whereas on July 2nd, 2013 and July 3rd, 2013, a delegation from Minnesota will honor the memory of Minnesotans involved in the Battle of Gettysburg and rededicate and lay a wreath at the Minnesota memorials, while Minnesotans across the state remember the sacrifices made to preserve the Union. Now, therefore, I, Mark Dayton, Governor of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, July 2nd, 2013, as Minnesota Courage at Gettysburg Recognition Day. And it's witnessed and so on and so forth, signed by Governor Dayton and co-signed by Secretary of State Mark Ritchie. I will let you in on a little secret. It's not that big of a secret because I've told everybody I've seen. When I asked the governor if he would consider coming to New Ulm today, and this is a couple of months ago, he said, I have an invitation to go to Gettysburg. And I said, but it's going to be a lot more fun coming to New Ulm. And he said, I know that. I'm coming to New Ulm. So I know he would rather be here than in pain. So, and I suppose if he's on pain pills, he wouldn't be able to have any of that Goosetown beer either. Thank you. Denny?